Hey, welcome back to another episode of Heroes and Videos. Have been away for a little bit. We've got Vince Gilligan to blame for that. I've been doing a Better Call Saul binge. Had not seen that. Had seen Breaking Bad years ago. Hadn't seen Better Call Saul, and have been binging through 6 seasons in the space of the last couple of weeks. So I'm not quite finished with season 6, so please don't do any spoilers in the comments. Going forward here today, we are going to talk about last week's comics this week. Breaking news, though. I don't know if you guys have seen, but Rocket Raccoon is on Earth. I don't know if you've seen the news story. This is the weekend of the 6th and 7th of December when I'm recording this. And Rocket Raccoon apparently has crash landed on Earth somewhere in the Virginia area. You might have seen the news. A raccoon was running rampant through a liquor store. Ended up with photos of the destruction and video of the raccoon tearing up this liquor store. Bottles everywhere, liquor all over the floor and all over the ground. And the raccoon ended up face down, blackout drunk in the bathroom. So I can only assume that's Rocket. So that's why Rocket's on the shelf of fame here behind me today. With no further ado, let's get right into the comics from last week. As always, please hit like if you enjoyed the channel content. If you'd like to wait till the end to see if you like it or not, I would love for you to do that too. But let's get right into it. Speaking of Rocket Raccoon, first up is Ultimate Universe 1. Now, why, you may ask, does this relate to Rocket Raccoon? Well, it's kind of Marvel's Ultimates Guardians of the Galaxy. I know that's way too many plurals in that sentence, but it's the Ultimate Universe. In Ultimates a few issues ago, maybe half a dozen or so issues ago, most of the stories are very self-contained, and they looked at kind of the Guardians of the Galaxy or a different take on the Guardians of the Galaxy here in the Ultimate Universe. The conceit of the Ultimate Universe, of course, is that the maker, that the old Ultimate Universe's Reed Richards, has gone back in time and changed things so there wouldn't be any heroes. I really wanted to like this book. It's interesting in that I know that Ultimates issue that had that different take on the Guardians. Some really cool concepts, some very hard to wrap your mind around concepts, and I know Jonathan Hickman's very good at that. He did not write this book, but sometimes you can overdo it a bit with that in terms of. And this book is guilty of that. That earlier issue of Ultimates danced around with it somewhat, but when you're using concepts that are so next level, at some point, and this is how this book hit me, at some point it just seems like word salad. It's like you're just throwing around concepts and bizarre science fiction concepts and paradigms to the point that if everything is at stake all the time, does anything really mean anything? And I know I'm probably saying that poorly. Let me know in the comments if you felt that way about any of the big stuff. There was a Scott Snyder, I think it was Scott Snyder, JLA book that started out like this. Hickman's original, one of Hickman's original runs on Avengers started like this, where it was, just everything's huge and the universe is at stake all the time in so many different ways. This Guardians book, or this Guardians of the Galaxy within the new Ultimate Universe, feels a little like that, like mind-bending, multiversal, time travel, all kinds of weirdness all at once. And if you start throwing too many over-the-top concepts at me or at us, it gets to the point where it feels a little meaningless. So I was having a hard time connecting to a lot of these characters. That being said, it's worth read. It's a good read. I enjoy that Ultimate issue with the Guardians in it as well. But that's Ultimate Universe number 1, 2 years in, and I think we're about 2 years done from what I understand with the Ultimate Universe. But that being said, speaking of universes that are being done, got the second issue of Save Now. I still read that font as Leave Now, but as with the first issue, an amazing cover. It's a really good book. I don't do a lot of indies. Those of you that follow me on the channel know it's mostly Marvel and DC stuff, though I'm picking up a few indies here and there. This is from Bad Idea Comics. The concept, it's very much like Edge of Tomorrow, where it's kind of like a video game. This character's superhero name is Saver, and so he can go back to save points in time and try to fix whatever went wrong. And and the world's going to end at some point, I think 10 years in the future, and he keeps going back and trying to fix it. Something occurred at the end of the first issue that might have given pause to that. This issue was a little bit of a step down for me. I'm still really curious on to where it's going from here. So I will pick up the third issue as well, but it's called Save Now, and it's from Bad Idea. The covers are amazing. The artwork inside is just something else, and it's a different concept. I love when science fiction throws you a curveball. It throws you something a little different, like the Edge of Tomorrow film. Next up, Marvel's First Family, Fantastic Four, Invincible Woman Part 1. I'm not really sure what's going on here on the cover. I don't know that it's related to what's going on in the book, but some cool concepts in this. Ryan North continues to impress with this second volume he's done of Fantastic Four. I love the fact that this book always throws some interesting science, some real-world science in, along with some pseudo Kirby science, that Marvel's given us, that any work of fiction's given us over the years. But some neat stuff in here, and it's leading to something bigger, I think, regarding the Invisible Woman, or Invincible Woman. Next up is Batman, number 4, the Matt Fraction Batman. And you'll notice the next few I'm going to be looking at are not bagged, mainly because I want to show you some of the interior. So, spoiler alert, however you want to do that, probably for the rest of the video. So if you want to skip ahead to the video and then so I'll get credit for you watching it. No, don't do that. Stick around with us. But hit pause and read the books if you don't want to be spoiled. I'm going to be not spoiling the story as much as showing you some really cool artwork in these pages. So again, as we were talking about with the Hickman Ultimates being one issue stories within a greater whole, the Matt Fraction's Batman series has been that as well. Each story can stand independently, but they're also part of a larger tapestry of stories going on. In this one, you'll see it's Enter the Minotaur. It's a dramatic cover. He's not a giant, nor is Batman that small. But I want to show you there's some great art in this thing. Introduction of, well, I thought it was a new character, but apparently she's someone we have met before. What I want to show you is, because the character Anarchy is, and the colors are beautiful too. Over here on the left of the screen, you'll see a different hue for each of the sections of Gotham, which is kind of neat as they cycle through that. That character Anarchy, I don't remember him much from the 90s, I believe, but this one shot, I just took my breath away. It's just so beautiful of Batman swooping in to grab Anarchy there. It's just the art is just phenomenal in this book, and it's just such a beautiful such beautiful artwork. I just love it. There's another shot of Batman down there in the corner with kicking Anarchy. It's just beautiful, beautiful book. So if you're picking up Matt Fraction's Batman, you will thank me. Trust me, you will thank me. Put it in the comments. Go ahead and say, JB, you were right. I'm so glad you brought Matt Fraction's Batman into my life. And that will warm my heart. Next up, and we're getting into some DCKO here, because DCKO is out. I've talked about that before. It's something else. I picked up this variant cover of Flash. The inside cover you get as well. This one came out last month. I saw some great reviews of Flash book. I haven't been buying all the tie-ins necessarily, just from budget standpoint. It's like I can't necessarily buy everything. And I hadn't bought the Flash, but then I saw, I think it was Casually Comics, great channel by the way, who had the following page queued up with all the, you can see them, they're kind of like the mini Marvels, but it's the Legion over here, and the Evil Legion with Darkseid. That's kind of what's going on. By the way, spoilers for the rest of the books on the video here, I think I mentioned. Long story short, there's an evil Legion of superheroes, which is a pretty cool concept. They're working for Darkseid. So this book as well just has some amazing artwork in it. It's really neat. Wally West and Bart Allen, I guess Impulse, are in the past and having to run from a number of members of the Legion of Darkseid, I think is what they call them. It's just, it is beautiful to look at. I don't want to show you anything too close to the end. It's a great tie-in with the DCKO book. Again, you should be reading DCKO, definitely. I know I'm a Marvelite. I'm an old Marvel zombie. Call it from back in the day. But for DC, and so I don't do a ton of DC. DCKO is worth reading. It's a really good event. You should really be reading all the stuff after from the All-Star book forward. Superman and Flash are very tied into that, as well as the World's Finest and Justice League Unlimited. So this is DCKO number 2. It is finally out. Oh no, I take that back. This is not DCKO number 2. That was in the last one of my previous episodes. This is Superman versus Captain Atom number 1. So DC's doing the main books, DCKO. I think there's 5 issues. Superman and Flash, Aquaman, a couple of Justice League Unlimited are involved in it, but the battles that aren't included in those issues are these little one-shots, and this one is Superman versus Captain Atom. I'm a bigger fan of the variant cover there than I am the actual one, but that is still, man, that's a brutal, bloody-looking first cover there. In terms of the story, I've got to admit the art is phenomenal. Never been a huge Captain Atom fan. I bought the book like I bought almost every book in the 80s and 90s, but I don't feel like he ever had a ton of personality in this. And I haven't read him much outside of maybe Justice League Europe way back, or Justice League International, but he's military was kind of his big thing, and yet he has some great banter with Superman in this, where he's not a big fan of Superman's in terms of the way this is having to go on. It's more character development than I've seen in that character, with the qualifier that I haven't read a lot of that character in the last 20 years, but it's more character development than I've seen in Captain Atom in many years. It's really cool, and I also like this because this was my first. This was the first of the battles, the one-on-one battles in this next round, where we're going from 16 to 8, I think. So pick up DCKO if you're not doing it already. I look forward to sharing some of those other issues with you in the weeks to come. Last up is a DCKO ancillary book, corollary book, but I also wanted to show it to you because it's just beautiful inside and out. Story is really good. The art is just phenomenal. I want to say it's Dan Mora, and it is Dan Mora. I just love this cover. You see kind of a Batman Red Hood is the framing device there, and then we see Batman and Dick Grayson's Batman with the Nightwing sort of bat logo on it, on his chest there, fighting it out. This is, I say KO adjacent because, spoiler again, Batman didn't make the cut for the 32 heroes and villains that are fighting in that DCKO event. However, Batman ended up in this side story, and we're left wondering just how real or unreal this is. Again, to show you some of that art, check out Batman in that Apocalypse armor there. That's just some beautiful artwork. I'm going to show you a few other things here from the book. The battle scenes here with Dick Grayson and Bruce there as two separate Batmen, arguing and fighting over whose style is the best, or not whose style is the best, who Dick's got kind of a bone to pick with Bruce over this, but it's beautiful. And then, as you can tell from that cover where it says Under the Red Hood, this very much reads like we're gonna be cycling through some Robins in this, the Robins that have become Batman, and Jason is no different. At this point in the book, it goes to kind of black and white and red, and it's just beautiful to look at. Trying to stay too spoiler or away from too much information, but just in terms of the fight scenes there at the top of that page, takes me back to some old Deadly Hands of Kung Fu or Iron Fist panels. There's just some beautiful artwork in this, and I love the fact that the last half of it is doing that black and white thing. Oh, got to show you this one too, because that's just Love that hallway with those white lines, arc, in that tunnel structure. Just great book. Left me wondering, do I know what's going on? Do I have any clue as what's going on? Not really, but it's a good fun read, and it's great. Like some of the best Batman stories aren't just Batman beating up folks, but Batman with introspection, right? And wondering if he's doing the right thing and if he's doing it for the right reasons and whatnot. And so, and love the interaction with Dick Grayson and Bruce, as well as with Bruce and Jason Todd, the Red Hood. So if you're not picking up Night Fight, go out to the store right now. Go get you some Night Fight, because it is really great story. So that being said, that's all we have for this week on Heroes and Videos. I'd love to, again, have you like the channel. Leave me some comments. Let me know what you think of the books we talked about today. Would love to hear about books that you're reading that I'm not. So give me some suggestions out there. And as always, keep going to see comics. Excuse me. Keep reading comics. I have movies on my mind. Keep going to see movies in theaters. Just saw Wake Up Dead Man, which is the latest Knives Out film in theaters. I think it's dropping to Netflix soon, but keep theaters alive. Go see movies in theaters where they are meant to be seen. And as always, be kind to each other.